For the rod support, we are going to take a look at inputting fractional measurements into AutoCAD. You can convert these all over to decimals, but referencing a decimal equivalency chart or running a calculator off to the side somewhere is really a waste of time. You can input these dimensions right into AutoCAD as you're drawing lines or the diameter or radius of a circle. For fractions like 3/4, you can just type in 3/4 and hit enter. If you were doing like 11/16, 11/16 and hit enter. No problem. Problem comes when you want to have a whole number in front of the fraction. If you type in 4, 1/2, the program is going to think that you want 41 halves, which you don't. So to do this, you have to type in 4 and then a hyphen or the minus symbol on your keyboard and then 1/2 to get 4.5 inches for that example. You can mix and match. You don't have to stay with that fractional input the whole time. Like if you know that 3/4 of an inch is 0.75 without having to look at a decimal equivalency chart, put in 0.75. And then when you get to a dimension like 11/16, okay, maybe you don't know this one off the top of your head, you can type the fraction 11/16. So we're going to take a look at creating this one, and I am going to try to use fractions the entire time. So I have an overall length of 4.5. So 4 hyphen 1 divided by 2. So I have now created a line that is 4.5 inches tall. Well, now I need the height. The overall height is 2 hyphen 1/2. So in putting those fractions, you do have to put the hyphen in between. Now if I wanted to create a line that was just a 1/2 inch, yes, you could type in 0.5. But 1/2, it goes very smoothly. Whole numbers, the same that we've been doing from the beginning. So just inputting fractions, if I want this to be 3/4, I can tab in not the decimals, 3/4. And as I work across the bottom, I want this length to be 1 9/16. So 1 hyphen 9/16. And now I need 11/16. And then 1 3/8. Sorry. 1 hyphen 3/8. And that should be pretty well set here with the rest of it. So inputting fractional dimensions. This part is symmetrical, which should help you in your construction. 1/2 inch down here in the middle. I'm just going to project right to it. And I'm going to mirror these components to the other side. So there's my front view. Keeping a spacing in between the views of 1.5. Let's do it in fractions. I can now create the top view, or at least lay the top view out. I have an overall depth of 1 1/4. And we're just going to project right around here. So now I've set my top view. The same thing would hold true if you're putting in dimensions for the circle. This is a hole, diameter, but I want a 7/16 hole here in the top view, 7/16. Even though I'm inputting diameter, everything works out fine. So that is inputting fractional measurements. I'm going to step away here for a second, get this thing ready for the next step. Alright, so I went through and did some projecting just to speed this up. I set a spacing between the views of 1.5 inches, projected my holes here on the bottom, but I'm going to use the mirror function and also copy section to complete some of this. I'm now going to focus on this right side view. So I did project these down and around, but we'll take these off for a moment. You have a large radiused arc here at the top. Well, one thing that we do know is it goes down the middle. We know that the radius is 1 3/8. So the fact that the radius is 1 3/8, if I make a line that is 1 3/8 from this midpoint straight down, I can now snap a circle right to it, and I will get the radius that I am looking for. Yes, I'm going to have to trim this off, but now this circle has a radius of 1 3/8, and you'll see that if I trim this off, just to show you that radius is 1 3/8. That is not 1 3/8. Well, it is 1 3/8. We want to show it as a fraction, which I can do. Fractions to a 16th on this one. It's a radius of 1 3/8. You do have another hole here that has a distance from the bottom that is 1 13/16. 1-13/16. Use that line and the end point on the line to create your circle that is a 1/2 inch in diameter. Now it's a matter of projecting this information from view to view. Being that the top and the right side are, the top and the front are symmetrical, we can do this, I would say, fairly quickly in terms of layout. So this mark here is for the center of the hole. I projected around. So if I take the hidden lines and center lines from the hole I've already created, since they're the same size, I can copy this into this position so it lines up. My guideline is now complete. This is the edge of that 45-degree angle cut from the top. And I do want to trim or suck back these corners. I have a couple hidden lines to project across. These two hidden lines. So we'll change those to hidden. And this one will go away. I do need a center mark for the circle. So I do need to project this circle information, the hidden lines, as well as the center line from the right side to the front. And instead of doing that work multiple times, I'm going to change it here and then copy it to the top. And being it's in the center, I'll have a spot to snap it to. So these two will be hidden. And this will be a center line using center 2. So I'm going to take this and copy it, snap it to the midpoint. There's my top view. Now I should be at a process where I'm going to mirror quite a bit of information. I change the line to green, and I want to mirror all of this here in the top. And I can mirror the information in the front view at the same time. And I'm going to mirror based on this line. I'm going to keep it. And now it's just a matter of cleaning it up. Taking my projection lines off. The midline, the line I mirrored on. And my projection lines. And then we'll be ready to put some dimensions on this.